And we're back again. This week, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about a technique that we can use to kind of manage our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, when it comes to things, facing us in our day-to-day. They don't necessarily have to be problems per se. It's just more like matters that we need to deal with, or just, subjects that we have to kind of contend with. So the way it kind of works is a pretty simple process. All you really need in a lot of these instances is a pen and a piece of paper. So altogether a cost of maybe $1, $1.50. And we can get a whole lot of, value out of that. So the way it kind of works is pretty simple. So after the end of the day, or, a day that you felt stressed, or I guess you can do it every day you want, or if you're having a particularly bad day or tough day, you can do this as well. And the way it kind of works is you draw up 3 columns, so on the piece of paper, and the first one is feelings, the second one is thoughts, and the last one's, I call it issues, but it could be like, you could just call it matters, or like, subjects or something. I don't know, something along those lines, something that puts it into a major category of things you're dealing with. And I learnt this from a kind of counselor or someone or a therapist kind of person, because my employer offers like an employee assistance program, and during COVID they had a like kind of support, mental health support staff come on for 2 days a week, and if you could book them anytime, you could just walk in and kind of just have a chat with them. And so I decided to have a chat with them, and we talked to like all through the various different methods and things that I do currently, and I was like, is there anything else that I'm missing? Is there anything, are you aware of any strategies or techniques that would be good to be aware of in case I ever might need them? And then this is one that was suggested. So you have the 3 columns, like I said. You have feelings, thoughts, and emotions, and the process is, over the last 24 hours, or let's just say over the day, you document all the feelings you experienced. It could be, and they don't have to be necessarily negative ones. There can be positive ones as well, or just neutral one, or kind of like neutral emotions as well. Doesn't really matter. Just anything that you've experienced, anything that you felt that day. So it could be joy, sadness, excitement, happiness, disappointment, consternation, annoyance. Come up with any list of names for emotions, and you can put it in there. Then the next point of view is you want to go on to the second column, which is your thoughts. So these are typically things, that you've thought throughout the day. It could be things like things that you had to do, things that have come as experiences, or a certain interaction you've had with someone. It just a thought that you've had that day. It should preferably be linked potentially. It should preferably be linked to one of those feelings, because that's eventually what we want to get to. Because it's about kind of mind mapping your day, your thoughts, your feelings, and everything you're kind of covering. So, like I said, the thoughts can kind of range from just, kind of things that came up into your mind, or it could be things you're thinking about, maybe you got to pick up the kids at 3 p.m, or maybe you got a big event coming up, or, something along those lines when it comes to deadline. Fuck, I'll use mine as an example. What have I put? This, on the top one I've got here, I've got how the triage nurse treated me, which linked to the feelings of mistreated. Well, my feeling was mistreated, and then the thought was how the triage nurse treated me, and then the issue was the hospital. So I went to the hospital that day. I remember, I think because I either injured myself, or it was, no, I got the COVID vaccines, the Pfizer ones, and I unfortunately was one of those young males that got heart-related issues. Nothing major, like I wasn't admitted into hospital, so don't worry, I'm all good now. It was just, mild, weird heart pain that I was getting. And a lot of people have experienced this from getting the Pfizer mRNA ones. for the most part, it seems to be completely fine. And I've actually done some work within my job, actually looking and kind of logging these adverse events from immunization. And for the most part, it seems to be presentations go up really high, but emissions seem to stay very much the same. So it looks like there's not a huge severity spike when it comes to these issues with the heart for the people when it comes to getting these vaccines. So if you haven't got vaccinated, please try and get vaccinated, because it's all about stopping the spread. Am I right? And then, like I said in my example there, the issue or the matter that was related to was going to the hospital. I could have also used getting vaccinated, but you know what I mean? It can kind of vary. And so another example could be you're feeling stressed because you have a uni assignment, related coming up that you're doing, and the subject matter or matter of let's just call it issue. I think that's easier. I think the original title I gave it was probably easier. Issue is university, finishing your degree or whatever. And you kind of go about it like that, and you detail all your emotions, all the thoughts, and then all of the subjects that relate to that, and then you kind of want to link them together. And multiple, certain emotions, you can have multiple emotions going to either one or multiple thoughts. So you could feel, excited by a new work opportunity, but also a little bit worried because you're not sure if you're ready to take on that extra responsibility. Like, you can have multiple things go to one thought, and just like that, you can be excited about multiple things. So you can be excited about winning an award, just like you can be also excited about, like I said, getting a new job. And same thing when it comes to the thoughts. You can have multiple thoughts going to one topic or one... Oh yeah, maybe that's a better word for it, topic. God, yeah, now that I think of it. Why didn't I think of that earlier? One topic. Yeah, call it topic. I think that's easier. Because then issue makes it sound like it's always a negative. So yeah, maybe topic is probably the better title for that one. So you can have multiple thoughts going to one topic, but you can also have a single thought go to multiple topics, if that makes sense. So pretty much what in the end you'll have your 3 columns, and you'll have all these kind of crisscrossy lines that link the feelings to the thought, and then the thoughts to the topics. And the purpose of all of this is to kind of better understand, also one, to kind of log your day and see the emotions that you're experiencing, and what are the thoughts playing out in your mind, and obviously what are the topics that seem to be at the forefront of your mind and your day-to-day life. And the best part about something like this is the more you do it, and if you do this every day, I don't do it every day, and I probably should, but because of my morning routine, is a lot of my wellness stuff is done in the morning. As you can imagine, that's in the beginning of the day. And I talked to the counsellor about this, and they said, look, it is probably better to do this at the end of the day while you're still in that day, because you'll be able to remember a lot more that happened. Whereas if you wake up the next day and then try to write it, it's going to be harder, because you're going to have to try and jog your memory on what happened. And then at that point, only the most extreme examples, like of either extreme good or extreme bad, will come into play, and it will kind of cloud the overall overlay of what you're trying to map out. So ideally you want to do it in the end of the day. That's something I probably need to work on and do more often, is do this, because for the short period of time that I was doing it, and I do tend to dabble in it from time to time, yeah, I do find it does sort out a lot of things, because you can better understand why you feel certain things, and then being able to connect it to thoughts, you're understanding, okay, when I'm going through these thoughts, because it goes the other way as well, when I'm kind of churning through these thoughts, or this particular thought, I tend to feel these certain emotions, and you can see that kind of play out over time. And also, when you're dealing with a topic, you can kind of see the kind of thoughts that are triggering what kind of emotions, and vice versa. So, and also viewing it over time gives you that ability to see, has there been a shift in how you've felt towards a certain thought and a certain topic? Because initially that new job might be a little bit exciting and kind of worrying, because you're not sure if you're ready for it, but you're obviously still excited to get a new position. 6 months into the new job, you might be maybe you've kind of mastered the role, and now you're feeling bored and if anything comfortable. So you get to see that transition of going from into entertaining certain thoughts and certain feelings towards a topic than to changing that over time to feel others, and what that kind of means, and also being able to see that transition over time is, I'd say pretty damn important, because I think it also reminds us that, just because you're feeling or thinking something now about a certain topic doesn't mean that you'll always feel that way. And even if you're going through bad times now, things can change over time, because, well, things tend to change. That's just how they seem to work out most days. So, yeah, give that a thought. Give that a try. Give it a go. It's not, like always with a lot of these things, it's another tool in our tool belt that we can use and implement when we feel it's right. Ideally, probably you want to do it as much as possible. And yeah, just let's leave it at that. So, thank you so much for watching. And if you could like and subscribe, that'd mean a whole lot. See ya.